Let's be real for a sec. Before you hand over a massive chunk of your hard-earned cash for that next home project, you need to watch this explainer. Why? Because knowing exactly how to look up and verify a contractor's license in Rhode Island is literally the single best thing you can do to protect your home. We're talking about saving yourself an unbelievable amount of time, money, and frankly, a whole lot of stress. So if you're a property owner planning any kind of construction or repair, this isn't just a good idea, it is absolutely crucial. Let's dive in. Think about this absolute nightmare scenario. What actually happens if an unregistered, uninsured worker gets seriously hurt while hammering away on your property? Well, here is the harsh reality. Under Rhode Island law, if that worker doesn't have active workers' compensation coverage, you, the homeowner, could be held entirely financially liable for their medical and financial claims. Yeah, your dream project could be completely derailed before the foundation is even poured. And hey, don't make the mistake of thinking, oh, it's just a small job, it flies under the radar. No way. In Rhode Island, contractor registration is mandatory, period. The state requires all contractors working for compensation to hold a valid registration. We're talking general contractors, remodelers, subcontractors, the whole shebang. There are zero, and I mean zero, minimum dollar exemptions. Verification is an absolute must for every single hire. So here's our quick roadmap for this explainer. We'll hit the high cost of guessing, registration versus specialty licensing, performing the license lookup, spotting the red flags, beyond the state database, and finally, some FAQs and final steps. Okay, moving right into section 1, the high cost of guessing and why your due diligence matters so much. Look, if you skip checking a contractor's standing, you are essentially playing Russian roulette with your finances. If their registration lapses, any municipal building permits they pulled become instantly invalid. A lapse can actually totally nullify their general liability coverage, and it can even trigger statutory fines up to $5,000 for a first offense. So yeah, doing a quick database check is a total game changer for your peace of mind. Let's move to section 2, registration versus specialty licensing and decoding Rhode Island's bifurcated system. To really do this audit right, you have to understand Rhode Island's unique setup. It's what we call a bifurcated system, meaning oversight is split right down the middle between two different state departments. The big thing to grasp here is the difference between a CRLB registration and a DLT license. General contractors register with the Contractors Registration and Licensing Board, or CRLB. That's basically an administrative clearance. It just confirms they filed their paperwork, did some basic state education, and have insurance. It does not certify their technical building skills. On the flip side, technical specialty trades, like your electricians, plumbers, and HVAC folks, they need a trade license from the Department of Labor and Training, or DLT. That one is a rigorous credentialed skills test that actually requires exams and real documented field experience. All right, section 3, performing the license lookup. This is where your investigation actually begins. So how do we actually confirm they're legit? First, pull up the official state portal at crediby.ri.gov. Right there, you can access the lookup tool. Now, the absolute best, most precise way to search is by using their registration number. It usually looks like the letters GC followed by a bunch of numbers. And by law, they literally have to print this number on their estimates and contracts. But if you don't have it handy, searching by their legal business name works too. When their profile card pops up on your screen, you are hunting for one specific word: active. That is the only database status that legally permits them to work, sign a contract, or pull building permits in Rhode Island. If you see anything else, like expired, suspended, or revoked, that is a massive flashing red flag. All work has to stop immediately because, plain and simple, they aren't authorized to operate in the state. Which brings us nicely to section 4, spotting the red flags and analyzing the clues hidden in the database. Because just finding their profile isn't the finish line. You have to play detective and cross-reference a few specific data points to prevent your contract from becoming invalid later on. First up, check that expiration date. Registrations require an annual renewal, so you need to make sure their status will remain active through your entire project timeline. Next, the business entity. The legal name on the database must perfectly, and I mean perfectly, match the name printed on your contract and their insurance forms. Finally, take a look at the class code. If you're hiring someone for commercial roofing, their class code actually needs to reflect that specific type of regulated work. Honestly, you would be shocked at how often a contractor looks absolutely stellar on paper, but is hiding a messy history. While you're in the portal, you definitely need to check the Public Disciplinary Ledger. This is their historical compliance record. It'll show you if the state has ever had to take action against them for things like abandoning a project, substandard workmanship, failing to pull permits, or operating with lapsed insurance. It's totally eye-opening. Next up is Section 5, Beyond the State Database. How to truly bulletproof your hire. An active CRLB registration is fantastic. It really is. But if you want an ironclad project, we have to dig a little deeper. There's a great quote for this. Registration is a minimum threshold for doing business, not a certification of competency. That hits the nail on the head. The state database basically just confirms they paid a fee and filed a form. It absolutely does not guarantee they're going to do a good job. So you need to use this ultimate pre-qualification checklist to audit their corporate structure. First, head over to the Rhode Island Secretary of State website to ensure their corporate entity, like their LLC, is in good standing. Next, and this is huge, don't just accept a printed piece of paper from the contractor for their insurance. Always request a certificate of insurance, or COI, directly from their insurance broker. Make sure they have a minimum of $500,000 in general liability coverage, and confirm the Rhode Island CRLB is explicitly listed as the certificate holder. Lastly, double-check that they have active workers' compensation coverage for their crew. You do not want any secret lapses putting you at risk.
Let's wrap things up with Section 6, FAQs and final steps for closing the case.
A really common question we get is, what if I want to use a contractor based out of state? Maybe someone crossing the border from Massachusetts or Connecticut. The short answer is yes, they absolutely can work on your Rhode Island home. But there's a catch. Out-of-state entities are required to designate a registered Rhode Island agent of service. And this agent must have a physical Rhode Island street address to handle legal correspondence. The state strictly prohibits using P.O. boxes or shipping centers for this. If they don't have that physical agent, they aren't legally operating in the state. Period. Another big one, what if your project involves electrical, plumbing, or HVAC work? Maybe your general contractor is bringing in technical specialists, or you're hiring a plumber directly. Remember that bifurcated system we talked about earlier? Right. A general contractor's CRLB registration absolutely does not cover technical trades. For anyone touching mechanical systems, plumbing, or wiring, you have to run a parallel search through the DLT's database to verify their specific specialty trade license. Don't skip that step. Just a quick disclaimer as we finish up. While this explainer gives you a highly accurate framework as of right now, you should always act as your own risk auditor. Laws change, database links move around, so always verify the current details directly with official state sources, like the Department of Business Regulation or the DLT, or even consult a legal pro just to make absolutely sure you have the most up-to-date and personalized info. So, armed with this entire workflow, you are totally ready to confidently hire the right team and keep your property safe. Seriously, taking just a few minutes to verify your registration, check trade licenses, and confirm active insurance can save you from disastrous, completely avoidable financial and legal headaches down the road. Before you sign on that dotted line for your next project, you really have to ask yourself, what hidden risks might be lurking in your contractor's past? And are you willing to bet your house on it?